week's message to my curveball catchers is why life is like spin cycle class. Yeah. Stay with me. It is. So, meanwhile, I don't know if you've been keeping up with my Facebook posts, but I have had it up to here, like up to the sky. I have had it. So, I have started working out again. Yes. And I used to be a runner like 20 years ago. But muscle memory is your friend. Okay, Google that. Muscle memory is our friend. So, meanwhile, I started jogging again. Woohoo! Started from a jog, went to a run. And guess what? I'm killing it. So, meanwhile, I am like determined to cross train, right? And so I'm in spin cycle class. Now, I don't know if you've ever taken a spin cycle class, but there are just some things that are just kind of thrown at you, right? First, you're sitting on this uncomfortable bike and it hurts your butt. And I'm like, how can I adjust myself to fit this thing? It hurts, And so meanwhile, I just went thinking you just kind of pedal along and follow the instructor. I didn't really know what to expect, but it's actually super fun and a great workout, but it reminds me of life itself. And so you're just kind of sitting there on the uncomfortable thing. You're like, this is kind of weird. I got to kind of adjust myself to the seat first of all. It hurts. It kind of hurts, but in a good way. Well, maybe that's just me, but I think it hurts in a good way because I'm weird. But anyway, so meanwhile, she's like, go faster, go faster, go faster. And you're like, okay, I'm going faster as fast as I can go. And then she's like, okay, slow down. Whoa. And then she's like, stand up. And I'm like, oh, stand up? Okay, stand up. So you're like going, then she's like, tighten it up. So then you're like, you got more resistance. You're tightening it up. She's like, okay, let it loose. Sit down again. I'm like, okay, now I'm sitting. Now I'm standing. Now I'm sitting. Now I'm tight. I was like, God, this reminds me of life. I'm out of breath. It's kind of like in life, you're going along and sometimes there's a bump in the road. You got to adjust your path. You got to either work harder, go uphill sometime. Things aren't going the way you want them to go. Usually when you're going uphill, you feel like, God, I'm exhausted. When is life going to get easier? Then time to go downhill. You're down. You're like, okay. And then you're coasting. You're like, okay, things are good. I got my job. I got enough money. And then and then smack. Okay, then you gotta adjust your stride to kind of go with the flow, of what's happening according to life. But, life is meant to be challenging. Life is meant to get you, kind of figuring out what to do next. It's meant to be challenging and fun. Sometimes it's just going to be uphill, downhill, and it just totally, that's why it kind of reminds me of spin class and I just love it because I'm new, so I don't really know what to expect. So I haven't gone enough time to know that, okay, this is when we're going to go up. This is when we're going to go down. This is when we're going to go faster and slower and faster and more resistance and harder and harder. Wait, okay, that sounds kind of like sex, not spin class. Oh, God, it's me. My mind's in the gutter, but I've been celibate for 2 years, but I digress. So anyway, I challenge you to kind of think about how life has been throwing you for a loop lately. And what are you doing and how are you channeling that energy? Lately I'm channeling my energy from things that life is throwing at me unexpectedly by running, and this whole new cross training thing, which I love because it's amazing. Oh, and my body's going to look banging. Oh yeah, because I'm killing it. But anyway, back to you. So, life. I have a friend. She's kind of letting it let life get her down. She reminds me of my former self, and I just could not stand the way there was all these twisty turns and how next week there was one thing happening and then a week after that something else, and it just kind of like, I was so depressed. But If you expect life to throw you for a loop, if you are walking into spin class, oh my God, spin class, and you expect to go up and to down and to have that resistance tight, and you expect that seat to hurt your bum, just go into life that way. Just expect it to throw stuff at you, and you just go, you know what? I am going to meet the challenge of life, and I am going to come out of this, and I am going to win. Something I tell my son when he comes home from school, if there's a bully or if the principal's office calls me, I'm like, you know what? Think about this like a video game. You know, for me, it's spin class. For him, I'm like, video game, okay? Like, you want to beat the level. Right now, you're on a level, and how are you going to beat this level? Okay, are you going to let the bullies get you down? Are you going to let, fifth period teacher that you don't like continue to fail you? How are you going to win this level? You need to get to the next level. Do what it takes to get there. And so I kind of like these analogies. I make them all the time. But, think about it. And so this week I challenge you to kind of channel your energy into a positive way. Find something to do. It might not be running, it might not be spin class, but find something to do that, helps you with that whole life analogy that you can channel your energy into. And share with me, like, and subscribe. And until next time, curveball catchers, I will see you soon.